In this video, we'll be talking about how you can make your own RGB LED cube very easily. Let's get started. First off, let me show you what I've designed using the great PCB design and review software called Altium. In case you're interested in this software and would like to see what it has to offer, click the link in the video description. This video is sponsored by NextPCB. Huge thanks to them for giving me the opportunity to create this project. The PCBs shown in this video can easily be bought and even assembled using their service, linked down in the description. Best of all, it's one of the cheapest manufacturers I've ever come across. The idea behind this LED cube was to make it as easy as possible. This can be achieved using printed circuit boards like I did for this video. The benefit is that, unless you're going to solder the components yourself, you won't need to touch a soldering iron at all. For this video I chose to solder the boards myself because I think it's always a good practice. In case you don't feel comfortable soldering, you can order complete assembled PCBs from NextPCB. The set of PCBs consists of two different types of boards, the first one being the base board. This board connects all the LED strips, as I'd like to call them, to the Arduino while making a construction more rigid. The only components that have to be soldered onto this PCB are the connectors. Next up, we have the LED strips itself. These are small PCBs consisting of 5 LEDs and 5 capacitors each. These boards are the hardest part of the build if you choose to solder them yourself. You have to make sure the LEDs are soldered on correctly, and the capacitors might be pretty small if you don't have a fine soldering tip. In total, the build consists of the base board and 25 LED strips. That means I will have to do a lot of soldering, so we might better get started on that. For soldering the strips, I like to use a bit of flux. This will help conducting the heat into the tin, as well as making sure it flows nicely throughout the whole surface area of the pads. I highly suggest using it, as it isn't that expensive either. As this isn't a tutorial on how to solder, let me fast forward this step. If you're interested to know more details on how to solder SMD components, I highly suggest having a look at my LED shades project, linked down below. Now that everything is soldered correctly, we can assemble everything together. On my version of the baseboard, I made a mistake when routing the connections. For the sake of the video, I chose to fix this using wires, soldered directly to the connectors. Make sure to pay attention to the orientation of the strips on the baseboard. Once assembled, we can start programming the Arduino. For this, we only have to connect our Arduino to the computer and upload the code. I made it using the official Arduino IDE, so that's what I suggest uploading it with. The code can be found in the video description. Now all that's left is to connect the Arduino to the baseboard and supply enough power to the board using an external power supply. To connect the Arduino, attach a wire from the Arduino's ground to one of the two pins in the middle. Also connect pin 6 of the Arduino to the bottom pin. To power the LEDs, we need a 5V external power supply capable of delivering at least 500 mA. Connect the positive wire to the top pin of the connector and the negative wire to the only remaining pin, which should be either one in the middle. Now plug in the power supply and connect the Arduino to any power source using the USB cable and watch the magic happen. If you've built this project yourself, I'd love to see the result. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay safe, stay positive, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.